would start and then stop, and then start and then stop, and then start and then stop, over and over again, cycling through life without feeling like I could really follow through and complete a task or complete big things. So I have decided I am breaking that cycle. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm following through, because when I quit, when it gets hard, when I don't follow through and finish things the way I intend, other things in my life suffer. And this goes for everything. It goes for my home. It goes for my health and my well-being. It goes for my money. It goes for my career. I'm done with it. I'm going to be 34. And this time, there's nothing that's going to stop me from seeing this through. But first, my name is Jessica Darling. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe and like this video, because it really does help me understand on a deeper level what's working, what's not, what do people resonate with, what do they don't. Feel free to leave constructive criticism in the comments, or something that was really insightful for you, to help me continue my journey and make these videos more impactful, more fun, more better. I feel like follow through is definitely a reoccurring theme in my life, and learning how to follow through on big projects is something that I've had to build endurance with myself, and I've had to take time and set intentions on goals. I can even see this reflected in my YouTube channel career. I remember way back, probably 2015, way back, but that was 10 years. So 10 years ago, I had started a YouTube channel. I deleted it at this point, but I had started and made several videos, and I actually started to gain some traction. And then guess what? I quit. Could you imagine? I could have been being paid for this by now. And even in the history of this YouTube channel, I can see areas where I was really consistent and then I stopped creating. And every week that I stopped creating, and the longer that time compounded, it felt like it was harder and harder to get started again. One thing that's helped a lot is just recognizing the cycles. I think the first step is always recognizing, and then setting intentions for yourself. I feel like since I've been setting this intention with myself and working more diligently at it, it's helped a lot, and I've written things down. Another thing that I've been a lot better at as I've gotten older is if I stop doing something, like let's say I stop and I don't work out for an entire week because we went on vacation, I set an intention for myself that the following week, I might even give myself 2 weeks off from really actively working out or actively doing some sort of YouTube video or whatever it is. But I actually intentionally set a date when I know I'm going to be taking a break, and being like, okay, on that Monday, I'm going to set some goals for myself, and we're going to follow through with that. So I just feel like I've spent a lot of my life taking a break, and like I said at the beginning, those days compound day after day after day, and all of a sudden it'll be 6 months later and I haven't done anything. And then it's really, the longer I go without restarting, the harder it is to get going. Something I've done to combat that is I intentionally, like when I know I'm taking a break or I get sick or something, I just make that intention of, okay, I'm going to get at least this done this week, or next week we're going to start fresh with some fresh goals and some fresh intentions for the week. Another thing that has really helped me as far as business wise, and maybe I could apply this in other areas of my life too, but instead of just breaking things down by year or day or week, I kind of do a little bit of a mixture of everything. So obviously at the beginning of the year, everyone's setting New Year's resolutions. I don't really set New Year's resolutions that are going to be something I'm going to do for an entire year. For my business goals, I like to I started breaking it down by quarter. So I'm looking at, okay, it's January, February, March. We're in the winter quarter. We're in the first fiscal quarter of the year. What are my goals? What are my financial goals? What are my, what kind of content do I want to produce? How many YouTube videos do I want to create in this quarter? And then again, with that it kind of helps because then if I fall off of the track and I stop creating, guess what? April 1st comes. Now we're in the second quarter. Okay, what do I want to accomplish this quarter? What did I do well last quarter? What were some wins? What were some things I could improve on? And how can we carry that into the second quarter of the year? So I feel like breaking it down instead of looking at a whole year, breaking it down by quarter is super helpful. And there's a reason why corporations and businesses and stuff like that, places, entities like that, use quarters, use quarterly reports. Something I've been doing instead of setting super specific goals is I leave more of like an arcing theme for the quarter. So for example, my winter quarter, the first quarter of the year, my arcing theme was getting important paperwork done, which is actually a good one either way because taxes are due. So it's like we have our taxes, we have our bookkeeping. For me, it meant getting my business license and doing all of the processes and filling out all of these legal documents and forms and turning them into the right places. And it sounds simple, but doing my business license has felt really overwhelming, which is why I've been putting it off. So I did finally finish that, and I literally finished it on the last day of the first quarter. So we are in April now. What is my theme for this quarter? Thank you so much for asking. This quarter, my theme is if you build it, they will come. So my goal for this quarter is consistently showing up for myself on places like TikTok and YouTube, building my website, building my Etsy shop out, building my product lines. So it's all about building different things because I have a ton of artwork, but I don't have all of it online. I don't have all of it. I haven't shared some of it for a long time. So you guys might not even know the amount of artwork I have available or my different styles. And who knows, maybe someone comes on here, they are someone that is an art curator or an art director. They might want to use some of my different artwork that's not just on my Etsy shop. So that goes into the piece of sharing on TikTok, sharing on YouTube, my different art collections, and just building that kind of web for my business. Like this, I kind of think of my business as like a spider web. I sit there and I work on little things and aspects that will attract the right people, the right clients, the right people to work with to me, instead of always going out and be like, have you seen my art? Have you seen my art? Oh, I'm setting up a shop. Like, come and look at my art. Like, this way I am building something. I'm more so inviting people in, and then we can make that connection. So we looked at how I'm breaking down my goals now, resetting if you fall off the rails for what you're working on, making sure we get back up and we try again. And then the last piece of advice I would say, as I'm getting better at following through with myself, is when I do fail, when I do have a moment where I don't show up for myself in the way that I wanted to, I forgive myself. There is no point in feeling bad about yourself. There's no point in giving yourself a hard time because you didn't follow through on something. The best thing you can do is forgive yourself and move on and just nurture that relationship you have with you, because that is the most important relationship you will ever have. That is something that I have had to work on so much, is the relationship I have to myself and being more kind to myself and not blaming myself when everything is going wrong. Obviously, there's a level of responsibility that you have to take, but be kind and gentle for yourself. You are doing a good job, okay? The last couple small things is, I think it's important to find your rhythm. Find your rhythm when you are, let's say you have some workout goals, some health and fitness goals, finding that rhythm, what works for you, what works for your family. And just remember, like, when you're raising kids, sometimes that rhythm gets shook up. And I think that is the biggest thing I've struggled with, is I will get into a good rhythm, I will find my routine, and then all of a sudden I will be signing my kids up for basketball, and then all of a sudden our whole evening routine has to change because now we have to be out of the house and we have to have dinner at this time. So finding your rhythm, being flexible when that changes, and then always know, it's like always this habit of like finding the rhythm again. Okay, where's the rhythm? It is maintaining homeostasis, just like our body does for us. We have to maintain that homeostasis for our goals and our adventures and the things that we need to show up for ourselves for. I'm really big on mantras because I honestly deep down know and feel in my heart that when we change the story that we are telling ourselves, we change the way we show up for ourselves. So that's why I'm saying you got to be kind to yourself. You got to be gentle. One of my favorite things to say to myself is, I'm just the kind of person that ... That's the easiest thing. Like, oh, well, I'm just the kind of person that consistently posts on YouTube. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm just the kind of person that always has money in my savings account. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy or this manifestation in your life as well. Because I've decided I'm done. I'm breaking the cycle. I'm done with the inconsistency. How I do anything is how I do everything. And guess what? I'm just the kind of person that follows through for myself when I know I have a big, important goal. I show up for myself. That's just the kind of person I am now. So having that level of delusion maybe, or just storytelling, talking to yourself, because the thing is, you're gonna tell yourself stories either way. Do you want to just replay the old stories you have over and over again, the ones that were given to you by other people or by bad situations, or do you want to be intentional with the stories you're telling yourself? It can be as simple as that sometimes. Changing the way we speak to ourselves. Talk to yourself, especially if you have kids, talk to yourself how you talk to your kids. I know that when I see my kids, I'm always rooting for them. I am their number one fan. I want them to succeed. I know that they could do anything. And so I turn that energy and I turn it back on myself and my own inner child too. And I'm like, yes, little artist Jessica can do this. She's got this. She's amazing. So speak to yourself the way maybe you needed someone to speak to you in the past. All right, it's getting deep. So I don't know if you are breaking a cycle in your life. If there's something in your life that you are excited to be like, I am done doing that. I'm going to do it this way from now on. I'm going to show up for myself. Let me know. I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for myself. We're going to build this up together. Let me know how it's going in your life. I love to hear from you guys. But that's it for this video. I will see you guys next week for another video. Like, comment, engage. I will see you guys later. Bye for now.